Hopefully you didn't miss me too much. Right back at it for game 4 of 5 on this Saturday. Now a beautiful Saturday here in Providence, Rhode Island. The last 48 hours, frankly, been disgusting here in New England. Rain and wintry mix of sleet. But now clouds have parted. It's going to be gorgeous for the next couple of days. But it's similarly gorgeous here inside of Schneider Arena as we get ready to start our final under-16 matchup of the day. The Washington Pride in the white uniforms, black numbers, black and khaki stripes around the waist area, black helmets. Attacking the goal off to our left, and Ironbound Elite out of Newark, New Jersey in their blue uniforms, same ones we saw a couple games ago. Slightly different color blue on the pants, white helmets, white numbers with names on the back as well. 3 17-minute periods at the under-16 level. We will clean the ice once again after the second period, as we have been doing all day long. Nathan Stout with you. This is the JWHL from Providence, Rhode Island. The day has finished up over at Brown University. And so we will wrap up the night here at Providence College. 3 more games to be played tomorrow at Brown, starting at 7 a.m., featuring this same Washington Pride team. So they will have to get back, get some food in the system, and then get to bed, as they'll have to be up well before 6 a.m. to make their way to the ice tomorrow morning, just down the road across I-95 to the home of the Brown Bears. Pride have it here, but they are going to be offside. It's a little bit too quick to get over the blue line and gain the zone was Elizabeth Jones. It's the first time we've seen the Pride today. They played earlier over at Brown, whereas Ironbound was very convincing in their earlier victory this afternoon. 6-1 was the final score of that one in our 1 o'clock matchup. Played behind the net. Ironbound Elite trying to get that first real clear-cut scoring opportunity. Still looking for our first official shot on target. Ironbound chop it free. Stein Trujillo goes after it, all by her lonesome amidst 4 Pride defensewomen. Taken back on some forechecking pressure again by Uselton. Scores in that earlier game for Ironbound Elite. Weiner had 1, Hansen had 1, 2 for Barbosa, 1 for the aforementioned Uselton, and 1 for Sarah Ponick. 3 goals in the first period, 3 in the third for the Elite. It was a highly entertaining but scoreless second period, with a couple really nice saves made by Olivia Park in net. Park is not in goal for this second game today, so Liana Kolb is in there between the pipes in the goal off to our left as she watches that one scoop pass on the left-hand side. Both goalies in this matchup wearing number 30. Sophia O'Connell is patrolling the net off to our right for the Pride. 2 players get arm locks, try to drag each other down to the ice. Ironbound have it. And they bring it forward. Skater with real skill, Barbosa. Barbosa gets through into a dangerous area, right in front of the painted crease. Defensewoman getting it right before it could reach O'Connell. Still here, though, for the Elite. They're big, strong, and fast. We have not seen the Pride yet here at Providence College. So still trying to get a gauge on what they have. You know, the Ironbound have supreme quality going forward, and you see, again, getting through a couple of players and generating something on target. That time it was DePino. Savannah DePino who you'll usually be able to pick out because she has that long trail of brunette hair. Icing whistled against Ironbound. So back down to the other end of the ice. Offensive zone face-off for the team from Newark, New Jersey. Pride, of course, from the nation's capital. So this is about as local a rivalry as you're going to get between two teams in these showcases. The team from the nation's capital and the team from Newark, New Jersey. Only about 3.5 hours drive, depending on when you drive it. Anyone here from the New England area, and certainly these two teams know, as that one goes 5-hole, and the opening score to Ironbound. 4 minutes and 11 seconds gone, and they take over right where they left off after game one, the finish from Talia Stein-Trujillo. One of just 3 players from the 2024 class on this roster. Stein-Trujillo, who didn't play a huge amount in the first game earlier, comes out firing in this one. Beats O'Connell 5-hole at 4:10. Ironbound Elite, the one team involved in this showcase, tournament, weekend, whatever you want to call it, that is not technically a member of the JWHL. U16 has much less teams in it. And with Stansted College not fielding a team so far this season for any of the showcases, it's resulted in the JWHL reaching to some of these premier teams from around the New England/Mid-Atlantic and inviting them to show what they've got in Ironbound Elite. Yeah, they've got it. Whip through. Kolb watches go past her left post. Tangle up there. Bruno was looking for the call, didn't get one for Ironbound. Taken back by Volstad, but forechecking pressure being applied once again. It's one of the things that's really stood out to me about the Elite so far in the couple of games that I've seen, and this one included, is just how relentless their forechecking pressure is. You regain the puck in your defensive zone, it takes a lot of work to get it out of there. Here's another opportunity, nearly stuffed home. Second opportunity, pops up into the waiting catch of O'Connell. He frees. Providence College, home of course of the Friars, on the lengthy winter break. That happens every December into early January with final exams and the break. It is nice that for the most part these college teams do get a break, as that one spilled in the crease for a second. O'Connell didn't realize where it was, then she pounces on it. But you basically get a month off. Friar women's hockey team resumes play after the new year against the Vermont Catamounts in hockey play. Another dangerous puck in front of the net. For a second there, nobody really knew where it was. It had skirted out toward that right circle where the Pride take it, but they are under siege over the last few minutes. Conceded once, and there were a couple of times that puck really could have gone anywhere. 4 players battle for it up against the boards. Eventually it comes loose to Ironbound. And again, it gets sandwiched up there once again. Finally chipped away from danger. Backhanded effort, paddled aside by Cole. Puck does not want to leave those boards. Finally taken away by Ironbound. No nonsense clearance by O'Connell. Interference call will generate our first power play opportunity. Heading to the penalty box is Madeline Hill. Ironbound win the draw. Play it behind the red line. Patiently surveying things, Anna Whitmer. She directs one all the way from the top. Watch out for number 21 in blue. If this is your first time watching Ironbound today, Whitmer does a lot of things. She is very fast, great stick handling ability, and she'll shoot from anywhere. Has one of the nicer assists we've seen as well in that first game they played earlier today. There's number 5 in white. That's Sasha Weimer. Whitmer is 21. Weiner had a goal earlier today as well. They do come at you at droves, this Ironbound team. So many players up and down the line chart that can contribute. Good clearance there as she was tumbling down, getting it down ice, and of course with no icing because of the penalty. Good clearance by Elizabeth Jones. Taken back by the Elite again. 45 seconds to go on the minor penalty against Madeline Hill for interference. Cross ice pass, past the red line, now the blue. Elite leading it 1-0. Trying to double their advantage with the woman up, but taken away once again by the Pride. This one will not get out of the zone. Retrieved off the carom by Gunthel. Match it. Sends it around. Gunthel places herself up front of the crease. Gorgeous 1-2. And the pass right on the money from Julie Jasitis. So Ava Gunthel does double the lead. 8:34 of the first. Ironbound Elite just relentless on their attack. Saw it in their first matchup of the day. No hesitation as they jumped out to that 3-0 lead against Mount Academy. And they're doing the same thing in their second matchup and final matchup of the competition. Pride have the 7 a.m. game tomorrow, but Ironbound, their tournament is done after this. And so they will very likely head back down toward Newark, New Jersey. This is probably the best time to leave, too. Leave the arena somewhere around 7:30, 8 o'clock. Probably pick up food or have food delivered to the venue. And if you can get on the road, get home before midnight down to Newark. Even though it is a Saturday, there is always traffic around New York City if you leave at the wrong time, trying to get over the George Washington Bridge. I know that because I tried to do it last week to come back from a wedding in Maryland. And it was so bad that I had to go up through White Plains, New York. You don't time it right, you're in trouble. Speaking of timing, here comes the goalie. Has to make the play. Oh, boy. And she does. Completely takes out the player, but got to the puck first. At least the officials say that she did. Could not judge it from this angle. Did not have the look. I'm right to the right of center ice as the same angle that you view it. But Liana Kolb had to come. But the officiating crew saying that she got puck first. But even if she did get the puck, I have seen much less contact whistled for a lot more. You see that in soccer. Goalie comes and clears out the oncoming attacker. See it a lot less in hockey. Talk about decisiveness. Cole made the right decision. It was just a question of would she get there in time. And even though it certainly looked crazy, we have nothing to go off of other than the official's call, which says she did. Pride have it back on their sticks. Two sticks got tied up for the briefest of moments. Wheeling around, looking for the centering pass. Nobody's home. Instead, they move it to the point. Went through the stick, then got caught up in the skates. Pass comes to the near side. Battling forward up against the near boards was Greer Coughlin. Taken back by the Elite. 2-on-2 the other way. Long skip for DeFino, puts on the brake, centers it out front. DeCitis had some trouble with the juggled puck. And it goes end over end down to the other end of the ice. Cole touches it up to one of her defensewomen. 5 minutes to go in the first period. 2 goals already up for Ironbound Elite, out shooting the Pride 9-1 in this first period. No numbers, but the Pride still take the shot attempt. It goes left of the cage. Patient build-up, Eleonora Prentner. Now it's Hill. Hill dumps it in there, but Kolb gloves and sits on it. One more game to come after this. We go back to the U19s. Stansted, who we saw all the way back at 9 in the morning, started at 9 a.m. Technically, it started at 8 a.m. with Mount Academy and this Washington Pride under-16 team over at Brown. But we started here at PC at 9 with Stansted and Washington Pride at the U19 level, and Stansted came out victorious on that one and then had a very long wait, which, having played in these showcases myself, not at the hockey level, but in soccer, you always wanted your games to be close together. You never wanted to be the first game and the last game. That gap between feels infinitesimal. Pass in front, great save, O'Connell. Point blank look by Anna Wittmer. Told you she'd get into dangerous places. And nearly scored there, but O'Connell scampers across left to right to make the save. 3.5 to go in the first. Both teams going for some changes. Puck switches sides over to Morgan Hill. The puck set right back in once again. Hill goes in for the check along the boards. Just barely kept in at the blue line, but then it escapes off some impending pressure by Leandra McDonald. Shot from distance, deflected down, second look there, blocked out in front. All the way through the bodies. One of those where you're like, how did that touch nobody? That time it goes off the heel of Bruno on the shot attempt from distance from Littleton. Backhanded up the boards. Now the counter is on. Stein Trujillo, fairly harmless that time on the glove by O'Connell. But Northwood and Stansted up next in our nightcap. Seven o'clock puck drop there. Well, as I said, we'll be right back at it. By the time that one finishes at 9 o'clock, we'll be just 10 hours away from our final day of action here for JWHL Providence. Right around the midpoint of the JWHL season. First weekend after New Year's. We'll be in Wellesley, Massachusetts. Boston Sports Institute, Wellesley. January 6th through the 8th. And then at the tail end of January, the University of Minnesota's Ritter Arena, home of the Golden Gophers, will host the final regular season showcase event. That one, directed off high, went right off of the noggin of a player who was already hurting. Susan Volstad was grasping her hands and then had that shot from Hatchet directed up high off of her helmet. Double whammy there, but she plays on. Talk about a thankless job, a defensewoman. Sometimes you just plant yourself in a dangerous area and let it whack off you, whether you know it's there or not. Final 70 seconds of the period. Really important that the Pride do not concede a third heading into the first intermission, which will not be a long one, as we'll cut the ice after the second. The JWHL playoffs will also be in Wellesley. So, that great facility, Boston Sports Institute in Wellesley. And that won't be until March 24th through the 26th, so a full 2 months, I say off. Of course, these players will still be training and going to school during that time period, but 2 months break between the end of the regular season in terms of the major schedule and the playoffs in March in Boston area. Final 45 seconds. Pride just trying to get it past the blue line and out of the zone. And they will not be able to do it. Kept in there by Reeder. Reeder gets it back and then tried to pass it to her teammate, went right through her stick, off the skate and down to the other end of the ice. 25 seconds to go. And there's going to be a penalty whistled against Ironbound. And that's a tough one for them. Again, a play that's caused because like there was a hole in the stick. It went off of the skate all the way down. And into the box goes Sarah Ponick. So 22 seconds left in this period. See if the Pride have any quick hitters that they can draw up here. If not, they'll still have the better part of a minute 40 starting the second period on the power play. And as that one's directed down, don't want to take any unnecessary risks. You see Ironbound trying to apply some pressure, force a turnover, and maybe one last look. Instead, the Pride take it. There's still time. 2 seconds. Gotta get off the shot. They do it. They score! And that's a good goal! That is absolutely a good goal! What a way to finish the period! Two-one as we head to the second. Elizabeth Jones beats the buzzer at 19:59, or should I say 16:59. But what a crazy finish. And there is no doubt about it that beat the buzzer. And the teams will retreat to their benches in very different moods. It's 2-1 Ironbound through 17 minutes. But Washington Pride right there with Elizabeth Jones cashing in at the death. We'll be right back with second period action for the JWHL in Providence. Underway in the second period. Last second goal, literally last second goal by Elizabeth Jones, cutting the 2-0 deficit down to 2-1, and the Pride go right into the attack. And you might see if the camera pans that way, they still have that power play up there. It is not. Power play, of course, ended with that goal by Jones. Ironbound have it. Dangerous pass across. Ironbound with some players out of position for the Pride, but they retreat, get back into the play, and take back the puck. Morgan Hill, all by her lonesome. Pride go for the long change. Pass up ice. Stefano gives it up. Kicked away by O'Connell. Puck trickles behind the net. Ironbound leading in shots, 11-6. Pass out front, second effort, shoveled in. How many times have we seen a goal like that today? First one stuffed off the pads, the second one on the rebound, cashed home. Alex O'Brien gets her first goal of the day. 150 of this second period. So Ironbound, good on them. You concede a goal in the final second of a period. Sometimes you can let that go to your head and concede a quick one after the intermission. They do the opposite. Don't let that bother them. Go right back to work and restore their 2-goal lead. And Whitmer is dragged down. It's just so difficult to get the puck off of her stick. And dances through 2 defenders. And no choice but to just grab hold and avoid conceding a point-blank shooting opportunity. So Pride into the box. That one whipped through and took a crazy bounce off the rim of the boards. Went sky high and now taken away. And the Pride are going to try and counter on the shorthand. All by herself. Jones is dragged down. And we'll play 4-on-4 for the next minute 40. There were 3 defenders in the area, but certainly an opportunity to score. It was definitely close to what could have been a penalty shot. The only thing I can think of is maybe the officials think that the 2 trailing defenders were close enough to also get in the play. But still, we play 4-on-4 for the next now 90 seconds. See this happen a couple of times today. Actually haven't seen any 4-on-4 goals. I think with less players on the ice there'd be more space to move. Nearly was there, but the shot sent well high. Dribbling out of traffic with it is Mina Al-Qadiri. Al-Qadiri still with it. Tried the centering pass, but just met the waiting stick of Weiner. O'Brien has it to Weiner. Around the boards it goes. Taken by the Pride. 4-on-4 icing is on, so you can't just knock it willy-nilly down ice. Kicked into the skates. Ironbound have it. See all that extra space to move with two less skaters out on the ice. Right point, shot through traffic. Settled behind by O'Connell. More forechecking pressure being applied. And taken back right at the blue line, and 2-on-3 the other way go the Pride. First half of the penalties over. So 5 skaters out on the ice for the next 5 seconds or so for the Pride. Five minutes gone in this second period. Ironbound restoring their 2-goal lead through kick save by O'Connell. Set down once again. 5-on-5 hockey now shots 15-6 in favor of Ironbound Elite. Plenty of space right in the slot to rip one. Took a wicked deflection down. Not sure if that was an attacker or a defensewoman who actually got the touch to it, but that really could have gone anywhere. That one's off the post. Back-to-back rifles by Sasha Weiner. Karma said she should have had at least one of them go. Takes it back, backhands it through the bodies. Taken behind the net by Penelope Davies. Long possession here by Ironbound. Looks like they're on a power play even though it's 5-on-5. And finally, that one's covered up and both teams will welcome that change. Backhand in front. O'Connell there for the save. Ironbound has had all the possession in this second period. Al-Kadiri gets tripped up. Coming into the play, Julie Jasitis went right in there and got the stick caught up in the legs. Actually, that's not just Citus, that's Samantha Brodsky. So Brodsky heads to the penalty box. This is, even though we're not even at the midpoint of the hockey game yet, this feels like an important power play for the Washington Pride. Conceded so much possession. Deficits back to 2. All the scoring chances in this second period, other than that one breakaway that led to the 4-on-4 power play, if you can call it that. Everything else has been heavily favored down to the goal of our left. Pride score here. We're right back in this game again. Long wait on the puck by Eleonora Prantor. Prantor couldn't find anybody. Very congested out front right now as you see this strategy. And that one chipped out in front. Nobody could cover. And now it will be held. But you see the strategy that Ironbound employing. They have no problem with the Pride possessing the puck out on the perimeter and just skating in circles. Eventually, you got to do something with it. And Ironbound placing all 4 of their skaters in really a box formation right in front of the crease and making it very hard for anything to actually happen in front of the painted area. And you'll see they'll sit back here. They're fine letting them possess the puck here. It's here that they can get and score. Right-hand wrister, Mina Al-Qadiri. 3-2. .736 of the second. Al-Qadiri makes this a tight game again. As entertaining as the first 3 games have been here at Providence College today, they haven't been close. We've had 3 relative blowouts. And right back in the attack, Ironbound! The old cliche, you're most susceptible to conceding right after you scored, and it's called a cliche because it's true. Through the line goes Morgan Barbosa. Her 3rd goal of the afternoon, had 2 in her first game. And now, it took mere seconds. Time of that goal, 7:50. 14 seconds. That's all it took from the 7:36 mark to the 7:50. And we're back to a 2-goal game again. We've seen this happen so many times today. Team scores, team concedes within 2 minutes. Rifle from the point, gloved by O'Connell. But that happens because, again, you score, so immediately you start to press up. Thinking, okay, we have the momentum, let's press and let's get that next one real quick. And if you're not careful, someone will go really quickly behind you. That's exactly what happened. Barbosa has shown that she has the killer scoring instinct with her 3rd goal of the afternoon. Off the clean draw, trying to stuff it behind. Can O'Connell cover? Eventually it scoots out the other direction. I will say this, the officials all day long, regardless of which crew that we've had, they have all been really slow to blow the whistle. When the puck's gone in there deep, they have let the players really jab at it. And if the puck isn't held cleanly by the netminder, the officials have been letting them go until it's very clear that there's no scoring that's going to come out of it. Which is certainly not the best approach if you're a goalie. You want the quick whistle. You want them to see it go into the bowels of the uniform. Whether it's the glove, between the legs, under the stick, you want them to be quick on the trigger. Blow that whistle. Maybe it's not fully secure, but please just blow it dead. And the officials haven't. Of course, they're told not to. You'd much rather be a little bit slow on the whistle rather than be a quick trigger and suddenly the puck's loose in a dangerous area with somebody ready to pounce on it. But we have seen how many times today where, because of how many loose pucks that we've had, the officials have been really patient about blowing that whistle, and at times it has felt slow. We've seen a couple ones where you have to think that it's covered up and they still jab at it, which of course can be dangerous. That one takes the high hop, cycled back around by Ironbound. 7:20 to play in this second period, after which we'll take our longer intermission, bring the Zamboni out. But we have really no idea what the score will be at that time. I could totally see Ironbound scoring a couple more in this period and putting this one to bed. I can see the Pride doing the same and sending us level. I really don't know what's going to happen over the next 6 minutes and 55 seconds. What has been the closest matchup we've had so far to this point in the game. That one juggled through. Battling up against the puck. Ironbound has it again. That's a really good stick save, short-sided by O'Connell. Sent all the way back down. Icing whistle. As a goalie, you always want to be mindful of that short side. That's the worst place to get beat as a netminder. That's why you usually will see them only peel off the post at the last second. They're just going to switch sides. Get this in the right face-off circle as opposed to the left. Won by the Pride. Where Coughlin won it. Coughlin has it. Looking for a teammate, instead goes for the shot. It's dropped out front. And then covered up once again by Kolb. Talk about the development of a goalie. It's really all about sure-handed catching, and when you don't catch, it's rebound control. That's what separates the goalies who will succeed at the next level and the ones that won't. Everyone's going to drop a puck now and again, but you don't want to drop it right in front of you, right on top of the crease. Got lucky that it was close enough that she could jump on it. But your heart goes up into your throat when you watch that puck drop in a place with the attacker closing down. 5:50 to go. Pride with it with Madeline Hill. Her shot again, knocked away by Kolb. Taken by Weiner. Weiner. Dispossessed. Here's the most recent Pride goal scorer, Mina Al-Qadiri. Up the near side now, it's Benson. Couple of changes for Washington. Check in there hard, kept in at the blue line by Volstad. Volstad trying to pick out the pass to Benson, but Benson had it scoot through her. Forechecking pressure being applied. Trying to keep it in the zone, they do so. Pass out front, backhanded look, just a little bit in front. And tough to direct it goalwards by Leandra McDonald, but really good look for the Pride to bring it back to a one-goal game. Jositis, again, dropped in front, but defensewoman only one there, Penelope Davies. Davies, all by herself, she gets tripped up, no foul. Pass got caught up in the stick. Hops up and is chased back in there deep by Hansen. Pass through neutral ice. Was briefly in the possession of the Pride, but then taken back again by Ironbound. Little wrist shot, takes a deflection, second look, it's in, no! No, it's in! I thought the first one actually did go in, but regardless, it is an Ironbound goal. Scored by Samantha Brodsky with 4:19 to play in the second. The lead is 3. 12:41. And that puck really had to go in at some point. There were about 3 chances that it should have gone home. And finally, right from the mouth of the goal, Brodsky just bundles it in. The only thing she had to do was make sure she didn't kick it in. Anything else would suffice. O'Connell tried to paddle it behind. Taken back by the Pride. Don't have numbers. Jones. It was her goal that started the scoring spree. She scored right as the buzzer sounded at the end of the first. Taken back again by the Pride, but the pass to Hansen. Hansen past the red line, chips it in and chases herself. Now Hansen gonna go for a change. Talk about distinctive hair, all the way down to her waist, Hansen. Stick goes flying. Player does as well. Whitmer goes and chases after it. Backhands it off the blue line paint. Pass back to Jones. Jones looking for the run of Al-Qadiri. Barely onside. Ball. Puck trundles its way down behind. Final 2.5 of the third, and again, big moment here in this hockey game. Hockey, for me, is won and lost in the first and final 2 minutes of every period. The teams that take advantage of scoring opportunities at the beginning and end of each period, usually the teams that I consider to have that killer instinct, and usually end up in the scoring column and the winning column. Played at the red line, passed back. Navigating through traffic, Weiner. Little dunk on the backhand, gloved by O'Connell. 5-2. Ironbound on top. They have no shortage of scoring opportunities. 28 shots on target. To this point, just 11 for the Pride. And it's an Ironbound team that scored 6 times in their opener today. That one, a couple eyes were elsewhere as it was sent through, right through the circles. Defino chips it past, kept in the zone by Weiner. Reverse pass, only finds a Pride shirt. And the white sweaters come forward again. Good stick check in there by Defino. Final 75 seconds of the second. Played off the boards by Benson. Jositis knocks it in. Oh boy, the change wasn't executed very cleanly. Here come the Pride. Shot comes through. Blocked down. That was not the most convincing change, which happens sometimes in these second periods. Tripping call is going to be whistled against the Pride. Pride player lost her stick, took down the Ironbound player in the process. But still a little bit exasperated for sure on the face of Eleonora Pranter. So Prantner to the box. .45 seconds of power play time here. And if Ironbound cannot score, Prantner will take her place back in the penalty box to start the third period as well. Ironbound win the face-off. Alex O'Brien was in there to take the draw. Long look and whipped in through the circle. No pressure was being applied on that right side for Ironbound. They have it again at the point. Through a bunch of bodies. Literally thrown through the bodies into a dangerous spot. Final 20 seconds. Is there one last score in it? We've already seen one scored at the buzzer. Could there be another one in the second period? Nice deke. Opportunity to shoot. Shot high though by Whitmer. Final 5 seconds. Looking for one last centering pass. 3, 2, 1, and horn. So 2-1 after 1. But Ironbound scoring 3 of the 4 goals in period number 2. And they will head to the locker room with a 3-goal lead. It's 5-2 after 34 minutes of action. And we'll be back on the other side for the third period between Ironbound and Washington. After this, you're watching the JWHL here in Providence, Rhode Island at PC.
Okay, cool. Thank you. Bye.
I'm not a tea drinker. Tea sounds very nice right now. I really should drink more tea when I call games.
You guys call grinders up here. I call them subs.
Grinders, subs, hoagies, Sammys. The sub is cool. Like, the Subway. Sub. World class sandwiches. Grinder. Salsa.
What do I get?
Oh, you like what?
I know, right? What the hell are you doing out there? God damn it!
Still waiting for the final few members of the Washington Pride to emerge from the locker room. Get this third and final period of regulation underway and set up one final game tonight to cap up this very long day of ice hockey that again started at 8 in the morning and will finish 13 hours later around 9 o'clock at night. 12-hour day here. We started at 9 o'clock with Stansted College, and it will be Stansted College who finishes off as well. You will also see Northwood for the first time here at PC today, as they will take on the Spartans in our nightcap. Puck drop coming your way in just about an hour at 7 o'clock. Hopefully you've enjoyed this outstanding coverage all weekend long. It's been a lot of fun. calling these games. It's a long day, certainly for the athletes, even more so than just somebody standing up and trying to call the action as best they can, but still a long day, and we appreciate you spending your afternoon with us. It's going to be a penalty for the trip, well behind the play. The official actually blew that dead early. This is not a penalty. It's an inadvertent whistle instead. So we will just have a face-off at center ice. Remember, the Pride are playing 4-on-5. They had that penalty with 45 seconds left in period 2. And still about 30 seconds or so left on that. With Eleonora Prantner in the box. Whitmer in on the face-off for Ironbound. Wins the draw, going up against Coughlin. That one whistles behind. Played off to Karam. Ironbound looking for another shot. That one deflects up high. Nobody knew where it was, least of all O'Connell, who made the initial stop. Good block out front. Still being possessed by the team in blue. Ironbound Elite out of Newark, New Jersey. Their final game of this showcase event. Washington will wrap us up tomorrow in the 11 o'clock puck drop over at Meehan Auditorium at Brown. Long pass in there deep. This Washington team, I should say, will actually start our day tomorrow. They're 19 and under team. Will wrap us up at 11, but this team will be back on the ice at 7 a.m. over at Meehan. The game of hockey, ice time is always at a premium. So you got players as two Ironbound players completely take each other out. Could have gone a lot worse as Morgan Barbosa collided with Samantha Reeder. Two of them look to be okay. And now two more players take each other out. This time they're on opposite teams. Bruno on one side and O'Brien on the other. Bruno on one side, Wu on the other, I should say. .43 to play in this third period. Still in a little bit of a feeling out stage. Both teams knowing that a goal on either side will either finish off this game if it's scored by the Elite, or completely spring it back to life if it's scored by the Pride, especially if there's still north of 10 minutes to play. Pride have it, chased in there deep, scuttles its way along the boards. Good forechecking pressure being applied, then nearly dragged down, trying to regain her feet is Jones. Jones, who still has the highlight of the day so far, scoring as the buzzer sounded to wrap up the first period on the power play. That one just makes it past the blue line. But O'Brien couldn't do much more, or Wu couldn't do much more than that. Back with the Pride again, but nobody there to receive that pass. Ironbound chips it up. Barbosa, the intended target, but it sailed over her head as she joined the fray. Long chase in there. Both teams battling for possession. Eventually trickled onto the stick of McDonald. Pass into the center, trying to pick out the target. There's the shot save by Kolb. Barbosa, little poke up front. Whitmer puts on the brakes. Waits, backhands. Dumped into the short corner. 4 minutes gone in the third period, still waiting for that goal that will either, again, finish the game off in all likelihood, or send it back into a little bit of uncertainty. Both teams carrying it off the near boards right along their benches. Whitmer across, kicks off the stick, and now long chase by Barbosa. Chasing that one down is Weiner. Trying to fend off the attacker who's glued to her side. DeFino plays it forward. DeSitis, I think that one was knocked down by O'Connell using the outside of that right shoulder to deflect it away. Pride take it back. Pass up ice to Al-Qadiri. Has a goal in this game. Al-Qadiri double teamed. Puck slowly makes its way to the far side. Pass out front, JWHL cut it off, then didn't know where it was as she pirouetted in space. Two players go down, but just incidental contact that time. Weiner slowly gains the zone, now rips one. O'Connell saw it the whole way. Take it in there by Hill and circle to the near side. More forechecking pressure by Ironbound as Washington attempts to clear with 11:15 to play. Ooh, boy, talk about a coming together that time, and this time the officials do not say that's incidental. And Al-Qadiri is going to have to skate toward the sin bin on the far side of the ice. Looks like we're going to have, yeah, that's going to be a high stick. So a high sticking penalty against Al-Qadiri. Again, that was one of those that could have gone in a bunch of different ways. The high stick results in an interference, which results in a trip up. The cascading effect of hockey penalties. That's why I'm never necessarily one to predict one unless it's obvious, like a hold or a cross check. Good pressure applied. Washington wins it back shorthanded, but that pass only to a blue sweater. And Whitmer, who loves to direct traffic, launches herself forward. Directs that one across. A little subtle lift over the stick that goes unnoticed. That's a really tough skill as well. Playing it along the ice after she took a tumble was Alex O'Brien. Very loud commands coming from the Ironbound bench. Whitmer has it at right point. Cycles it to the left. A little bit of a spin cycle for Snyder, but kept her feet. 50 seconds gone on the power play. That one pinballed around using the rocket launcher to get it around, but not out. Take it back, O'Brien goes into the challenge with Volstad. Barbosa gives chase, but it's taken back by the Pride. Long skate, and there comes the forecheck again. Taken right back by Whitmer again. Long hold, Whitmer, right up into the chest. Actually, that might have gone up toward the neck guard of O'Connell. You saw her just shaking her head. That's why you have that neck protector. That would right into the gullet if that wasn't there. Talk about a really important piece of safety gear that you don't necessarily realize how much you need until you do. DeFino had that shot, went right into the waiting stick of Penelope Davies, and that puck went absolutely nowhere. 10 seconds left on the man up. Through the traffic again. That one just barely misses to the wide side. Shot on the one-timer. Second effort, third effort, just behind. Back on 5-on-5, and the Pride survive. Pride, though, running out of time. 9 minutes to get 3 goals. And now here comes a potential breakaway opportunity. Long run. And good tackling it away. Tough to do that fairly. We've seen at least 3 penalties so far today. The player getting out on the breakaway and the defense with no choice but to hold on and commit the 2-minute minor. But Ironbound does that one legally, just forcing the attacker away. That's an icing. And now the officials are just going to have to make sure that nobody for Ironbound snuck on here. They're definitely going for a couple of changes, and looks like they have the correct 5 out on the ice. For me, that would, the 2 things as a hockey official, other than skating, I will be perfectly transparent. As much as I love the sport of hockey, I cannot skate worth a lick. I prefer dry land sports. Or swimming. I like it if my water is liquid rather than solid, we'll say that. But the 2 things that I still, for the life of me, I'm amazed by when it comes to officiating. One is offside, and how they get that right 99% of the time. And the second one is remembering who's out on the ice every time there's an icing call, and making sure that nobody sneaks off without getting caught. Weiner tried to pick out a teammate. Back to even strength hockey after that really strong penalty kill by the Pride. Ping-ponged off the boards, retrieved there by Stein Trujillo. And now she and a teammate battle up against 2 Pride players, make it 3 Pride players to get it off the boards. This one goes on the shallow end all the way down, and we'll have another icing. I'll say this, maybe it's a generalization, but when it comes to that sneaking off, I do see the sneaks more often on the men's side at the junior level than on the women's side. The women are usually, call it polite, they're usually honest and will just go back on the ice. The number of times I've seen at the junior boys hockey level and just try and sneak off the ice, I've only seen it really work a couple of times. Usually you try and go for that full switch, get as many bodies off as you possibly can, and see if the officials memorize 5 numbers rather than just a couple. Hard stop there by Volstad, sent everybody flying by her. 7:10 to play. After 7 goals through the first 34 minutes. And nothing doing for the first 10 minutes here of the 3rd period. As Ironbound content with their 3-goal lead. Pride had cut it to 3-2. That one in front, nice! Beautiful. Through the crease and in. Did not panic. Just settled that one down. Quick survey, where's the goalie? She's coming out. And just slides it at ice level past rather than trying to go high. It's a patient finish by Caitlin Uselton. She had a goal in her first game today as well. Adds one in the second. And that should probably do it. 4-goal lead with 6:46 left. Ironbound sitting pretty, particularly knowing that they've outshot the opposition 40-12. Time of that goal, 10:14 of the 3rd period. That's the thing. Not only does this Pride team need 4 goals, they've only managed 12 shots in the entire game. When you've been more than tripled up in terms of shot attempts, that's what makes the comeback that much harder. If they were generating the opportunities, they just weren't falling. Well, that's one thing, but when you're not generating the shots, hard enough to generate 1 goal, let alone the huge tally that they now require. And that's why those 2 goals, when it was 3-2, again, it's worth reminding just how quickly, as that one pings off the post, you hear that trademark beep as it goes off the orange iron. But again, worth remembering as Hansen takes that one from distance, deflects up high and behind. Just how quickly we went from 3-2 to 4-2. Mina Al-Qadiri scored at 7:36 of the second period. 14 seconds later, Morgan Barbosa restored the 2-goal advantage at 7:50 of the second. And that was really the end for the Pride right there. They were within one, had the momentum, conceded 14 seconds later, and never really found their footing again. And 2 goals after that, we stand at the current 6-2 scoreline. And we're still looking for a real barn burner of a finish through 4 games, heading into a 5th. And we'll see what that one could produce. We know that Stansted is a strong team. Haven't seen Northwood yet today here at Providence. But they're a team right in the middle of those standings as well, trying to knock on the door to the top 2, which through this point in the season has been a race between Balmoral Hall and Stansted College. But Northwood in that conversation as well, as got 4 teams in double-digit points with 2 showcases to go in Boston and Minnesota. Whitmer, look at the move. Backhand, nice save, O'Connell. And then kicks it free. And you see Whitmer, the game slows down when she has the puck. Everybody else seems to speed up around her, and she slows down and just waggles her way through defender after defender and either finds the pass or goes for the shot. And that time, credit to O'Connell, getting that left pad down, showing that flexibility to make the stop with exactly 4 minutes to play in this one. A 6-2 scoreline for Ironbound. They won their opener 6-1 earlier. More of the same in their final performance here. Whitmer nearly tripped up, then does go down to the ice. Could not be held in, and now the Pride look to counter. Might have a 2-on-1 if they can get the cross-ice pass. Instead, they go for the shot. Again, tough to see if the angle really was on. You saw Elizabeth Jones darting toward the crease. And defensewoman, though, might have covered that angle. 3:34 to play. Face-off won by the Pride. Jones tiptoes past the defender, looks for the centering pass on the backhand, now flings it, but right off the back of the net. Takes a kick. Held in at the blue line. Five bodies battle. Ironbound comes away with it. That one, though, is going to kick off with the heel of Printner and go right back in there deep. Into the block. Right point shot from Al-Qadiri, who goes back to retrieve. Final 2:40 of this one. Ironbound on a little bit of cruise control after taking that 5-2 lead, and now trying to add one more with the score at 6-2. All 6 of their goals coming from different sources. Stein, Trujillo, O'Brien, Gunthel, Brodsky, Barbosa, and Usselton. That always brings a smile to the coach's face as well. Obviously, everyone loves hat tricks, and in our last game, we saw 2 of them, 1 per team. But when you can put up 6 scores, and you got 6 different players chipping in with goals, that just shows how many different weapons and how versatile the attack is. That's why this team is so difficult to play against. You can't just focus in on 1 or 2 players. Say we have to shut them down. The goal can come from anywhere. Pass out front, dangerous look, trying to seal herself against the post was O'Connell. Did enough, as that one scoots down past the red line into the neutral zone. Set up past the blue line. Hansen dishes it off. DeFino put under pressure defensively, and now taking a tumble down at that right side of the ice was Davies in that one-on-one battle. 90 seconds to play in this one. Takes a hop off the skate. Centering pass out front. O'Connell backhanded it right into the waiting path of Savannah DeFino, who then returned it right back into the glove. .120 left. Puck drop for our final matchup, about 35 minutes away. Again, it'll be Stansted College out of Quebec going up against Northwood. And what should be a really fun matchup to finish the night. And that one goes off the post. Northwood's out of Lake Placid, New York. We talk about Providence being a place that is one of the original hotbeds for women's college hockey. And the Olympic performances that were generated here don't necessarily need to give you the background on what Lake Placid means to Olympic hockey here in the United States on the men's side. Again, worth noting that when the Miracle on Ice happened in Lake Placid, women's hockey was non-existent. It was played and has been played for well over 100 years. But in terms of what people cared about, women's hockey was far from the recesses of their mind. It would take nearly 2 more decades from the Miracle on Ice to get women's hockey in the Olympic Games in Nagano in 1998. And that's where Providence played into that story, as I mentioned in the early parts of this game, with 7 of the original 20-member class of that U.S. national team in '98 being members of the Providence Friars. And that '98 team has been inducted into the Providence Hall of Fame, courtesy of their tremendous accomplishments in building this sport that continues to grow year over year and get more and more attention as women's sports get treated a lot more equitably here in North America. Final horn sounds, and a strong performance as everyone goes to hug Kolb. Great win for her. Puts up 11 saves. Her team outshoots the opposition 48-13, and Ironbound wins this one by a final score of 6-2. Leading from the outset. Pride fought hard, but again, we've seen 4 games, 4 pretty demonstrative scorelines with the better team coming out on top, and that all leads into our nightcap. Stansted College going up against Northwood School, a battle of Quebec, Canada, and Lake Placid, New York, coming your way at 7 o'clock. Until then, for everyone here at Providence College in the JWHL, my name is Mason Stalf. We'll see you in a little bit. One more game on the